everybody, I'm Luna from Luna ơi, and over the last few months, I've been continuously receiving questions about how price control program works in Vietnam. And I've been trying to answer that question in many of my streams already, but today I'm gonna put them all into one official video. First of all, I want you to know that in Vietnamese, we don't use the word control, we use the word stabilize, because actually, we do not control the price, we stabilize it. So from now on, I will use the term price stabilization program. Okay? In Vietnam, there are many products that have price stabilization program, such as medicine, vegetable, pork, and gasoline. But I think that the most common and the most important one is rice. So today I'm gonna talk about the rice price stabilization program in Vietnam. Mostly all the farmers in Vietnam own their own farms and they work together cooperatively. There are now more than 13,000 agricultural cooperatives all over Vietnam, and the majority of the farmers here are family owned. They do not work for any kind of corporations or companies. And for decades, our government has been appealing more and more farmers to join the cooperative because we believe that this is the best way for farmers to work together to earn their profit, to earn the profits that they actually deserve. And also it's the best way to fight the big companies, the big corporations that are trying to steal their profit, to steal profit from the farmers. Rice is very important here. Vietnamese people eat rice every day. It's like bread or potatoes in many Western countries. So that's why our government really concerns about the price of rice because it literally can affect our whole economy. So that's why rice price stabilization program is very important. It is essential here. It's protecting both consumers and farmers. There are 4 main steps to set up this program in Vietnam every year. The first step is price declaration. In this first step, the local government in all provinces in Vietnam will work with the farmers, and they together will estimate, will calculate and announce the actual price of rice before every harvesting season. And about the actual price that I just mentioned, it means the no profit added price. It's a real cost to produce a kilogram of rice. And based on the different prices all over Vietnam, the government will calculate the average price for the whole country. And that's the second step. The next step is that the government will use the price that they just calculated to come up with a plan to stabilize the price, to make sure that the farmers will still receive the reasonable profit that they actually deserve. There are 2 situations that can happen in this step. The price might be too high or the price might be too low. In the situation of high price, the government will force all the rice exporting companies to open their stock and sell the rice that they are keeping. And they will check all the procedure to make sure that they will sell the rice in a normal low price. In the situation that the price is too low, the government will again force all the companies to buy rice from farmers and pay them with the normal price. To do all of this, the government will need a fund. And this brings us to our last step, building the fund. The rice price stabilization fund in Vietnam is about 43 million US dollars, and all the rice exporting companies will be responsible for this fund. Every year, the government will take a part of their profit to put into this fund. So actually, all the capitalist rice exporting companies will be in charge of this fund, will be responsible for this fund, not us, not the farmers, not the customers, not the government. And now we're gonna talk about this program a little bit more detailed. There are 2 main purposes to use this fund. The first one is, of course, to stabilize the price. The second one is to help the farmers. Government will use the fund to give farmers the loans with really low interest to help them with their farming activities. We all know that if we buy something directly from the producers, the price would be much lower than through other agencies, right? And we all don't want that. So in Vietnam, if any rice exporting company bought rice from both farmers and through agencies, they have to publish the two kind of price for that. For example, like for just one kind of rice, we can have two different prices. One is cheaper that the company bought directly from the farmers, and one is more expensive that they bought from other agencies. First, this will help the farmers decide where they should sell their rice to. Second, it will help customers like me to choose the place that I should buy my rice for a cheaper price. And it also encourages the companies to work directly to buy rice directly from the farmers, try to eliminate the unnecessary steps, try to eliminate all the agencies that are trying to get their profits by raising the price. And one more thing, if a rice exporting company can prove that they bought rice directly from farmers, government will give them some kind of low interest loan as an encouragement. In conclusion, rice price stabilization program is working really well in Vietnam. It protects both customers and farmers. For farmers, it helps them maintain their profit at least 30%. Usually the profit would be like from 45 to 80%. And for customers, it would protect the price for us. Like we would never have to buy rice in a really high price. The price of rice in Vietnam is from 30 cents to $1 for a kilogram. It depends on which kind of rice that you choose, but it's been always staying that low for decades. So even the poorest people can still afford rice. And last but not least, all the capitalist rice exporting companies in Vietnam, they can raise the price internationally according to the actual situation happening in the world, but domestically they cannot do the same thing. And also, they are the one in charge of that fund. They have to use their own profit to pay for it. Besides rice, we also have many other products that have the price stabilization program, but I will talk about them in my next videos. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you have questions, leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them all. See you next week. Bye bye.
Hi everybody, I'm Luna from Luna ơi. Over the last few months, I've been continuously receiving questions about the price control program in Vietnam. Hi everybody, I'm Luna from Luna ơi. Over the last few months, I've been receiving the question about how price program. Hi everybody, I'm Luna from Luna ơi. Over the last few months, I've been continuously